All right, I got a Browning A5 Sweet 16 gauge on loan to me today by my good friend Andrew. Appreciate that, brother. So this will actually be the first time. Just a few days ago, I posted first time I got to shoot a 28 gauge thanks to him, and now this will be the first time I get to shoot a 16 gauge thanks to him. And boy, is this a nice one. So before I get too far in the video, just want to apologize in advance for all the gunfire you're gonna hear. The clay range is very busy today. That being said, hopefully it'll clear out some so I can get some shots on clays. But we're going to do a pattern out there. Laser rangefinder confirmed 20 yards. We're going to knock over some of these steels. And as I said, hopefully get to the clay range with it as well. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time going over the features here. Again, 16 gauge. It's got a 28-inch barrel on it there. You got a two-sight system. You can see the orange or red fiber optic front there, and then you got this little white bead here, so you line the two up together. And it's hard for me to get them lined up with the camera here, but that's basically what you're looking at, although I'll say that white dot there looks much smaller to the eye. But again, it's kind of difficult for me to get this on camera for you guys. You just can't quite see that through the camera, but yeah, even still, that white dot to your actual human eye looks a lot smaller than that. So you just line the two up, and that's how you aim with her. So it's a 4+1 capacity, 4 in the mag, 1 in the chamber. But he's got a plug in it right now, so the most I can get in the mag right now is 2, so we can do 2+1 for now. I'm not gonna mess with his plug in there. And we just got these old Remington heavy game loads here. 2 3/4 inch, 1 1/8 ounce 6-shot. Then we got some even older Federal over here, also 1 1/8 ounce 6-shot. Fit and finish is top notch. The action is super smooth. It's like glass, guys. Super nice. And this thing is extremely light. It's coming in right about 5.5 to 6 pounds. And I almost had a hard time believing it had a 28-inch barrel when I measured it there, because it just doesn't feel that long and heavy because this thing's so lightweight. I'm not sure what kind of wood this is and whatnot, but like these grips are super lightweight, and I don't know, just the materials they make it out of. This thing is just amazing. It's super lightweight. The ergonomics are like perfect. Everything's exactly where you'd want it to be. Fit and finish top notch. Very smooth action, smooth loading. Like I said, can't wait to shoot this thing. Also, the trigger is phenomenal on this thing, especially for a shotgun. She is empty, so it's got very little take up. That's it right there. And then it's actually pretty light and almost no creep or play whatsoever. Okay, so here's the take up, and we'll pull through. And that's it. I mean, if you really try, you can get like 1/2 mil of play right before it goes off, but it's hard to even stage it like that. As soon as it does move a little, it just wants to go. And it's probably about a 4-pound trigger I would give it, so it's real light and crisp with no real play to speak of, and just super smooth. Probably the best trigger I've ever felt on a shotgun. All right, so we'll get loaded up here. I'll print a pattern at laser rangefinder confirmed 20 yards. We'll see how she patterns. Which, by the way, I was instructed that it has a improved cylinder choke installed in it currently. So improved cylinder, guys. 20 yards, laser rangefinder confirmed. We'll hit that, see how it patterns. We'll knock down some steel, and then, as I said, hopefully I'll get to the clay range with it today as well. And if you guys want to get yourself a good budget option rangefinder right there, I've been using this one for years. It's great. You can get yourself some targets, target stand, anything you see me using the videos. The link's in the description. All right, these guys are getting close on me, so I apologize for the noise you're going to hear. But, you know, we're out here enjoying our freedom, so can't complain about that. Well, let's go ahead and do a pattern here at 20 yards and go take a look, see how she does. Well, first thing I'll say, that was surprisingly right. Jesus, I cannot talk today. Surprisingly light recoil. You know, 16 gauge is getting close to 12 gauge performance there. And like I said, this thing's pretty light, like 5.5 to 6 pounds. So I was like, man, that's probably going to have a pretty good kick to it. And man, it was real tame. It was like shooting a 20 gauge. No doubt this excellent recoil pad here helps. And of course, being semi-automatic, you got a little less recoil than you do with pump. But let's go check out this pattern up here real quick. Okay, now obviously there's just aiming right here center, and you can see that she's just completely peppered with shot there. And seemed to group pretty tight, even though it was improved cylinder. Not much bigger than this target, because you can see they kind of stop up here. There's not a whole lot up here, so most of them are focused down here. And I'm also not seeing a whole lot down here either, so about 12-inch pattern there at 20 yards for the majority of the shot. It's not a bad pattern at all, but more impressive than that, the 28 gauge I mentioned for a second we shot earlier, also improved cylinder, had almost just as good a pattern at that distance. However, that said, I was using 8 shot in a 28 gauge, and this is 6 shot with the 16 gauge. And by the way, if you guys want to check that out, if you missed it, I'll put a link in the description for that RIM 870 28 gauge of his that we just reviewed a few days ago. Anyways, let me go flip these steels back up and we'll knock some of those down, and then again, hopefully get over to the clay range sometime today. All right, here we go, first shots. All right, we'll stand back here behind the camera and see if we can knock those little bowling pins and such down from back here. Alright, on the clay range here, and I'll do my best with the editing so you guys can see these. Alright, so that one's a little slower, a little easier. We'll try the faster one now. I don't know, they honestly both seem close to the same, but earlier with the 28 gauge, it was like the first one was coming out faster and the second one was coming out slower. I can't believe I missed that one, but I think I nicked it with the second shot. Stay tuned, I got a little better camera angle on some of these coming up here in a minute. Yeah, that one's a little slower, a little more of a floater. Go too fast and too slow, and I'll zoom the camera in just a tad bit there. Well, hopefully you guys are seeing those. I thought I had the camera in a pretty good spot earlier. We'll finish out this box. We got a few more in there, and hopefully that'll look a little better right there. Last shot. All right, so I did all right there. I think I missed one, but I think I hit it with the second shot at least. So I did do a little better here than I did with the 28 gauge, but you know, that's to be expected. Got a lot more shot in there. But yeah, like I said, the recoil on this is real light. It's just a tad more than a 20 gauge, which obviously 16 gauge is going to have more recoil than a 20 gauge, but I was expecting more than that. So because it's so light, I was expecting closer to 12 gauge recoil. Also because the 16 gauge is closer to a 12 gauge than it is a 20 gauge, at least in my opinion. But yeah, the recoil is pretty tame on this thing. Combination of that excellent butt pad there and semi-automatic action, and I don't know, you tell me what else, but with it being so light, it's actually real light on the recoil. Not at all what I was expecting, just a hair more than like a pump 20. Yeah, but anyways, yeah, she shoots great, real nice gun. Again, that was with an improved cylinder, guys, so you can imagine how far you could reach out with like a full or whatever. And also, those are just these not only generic but real old loads by Federal and Remington there, so of course your modern offerings are a lot better than that as well. But I think that'll about do it for this one, guys. Like I said, if you want to check out that 28 gauge, if you missed it, I'll put a link in the description of that. That was another really nice one. Links are in the description for the products I use in the video, like the earmuffs I wear, target stand, steel target shooting bag, and all of that. So if you want to see those, links are in the description for you. But I want to thank Andrew again for letting me borrow this. I know she's real special to him, so I appreciate him loaning it to us for the video. But that'll do her, guys. Thanks for watching, and I hope to catch you all on the next one.